Hi there, everybody, and welcome to Cover Wars. I'm your host, aJaX, and with me always is Seth. Seth, how's it going?
Going good. How are you?
Not too bad. Hey, Cover Wars is a weekly podcast where we are on a quest to find the top 3 quintessential cover versions of a particular song. And then we do that by pulling from a curated playlist of 20 songs. We reveal our top 5 favorites, and then we battle it out in a cover war to determine those top 3 quintessential cover versions of a popular song, culminating in the best cover ever of a particular song. Seth, what song will we be covering today on Cover Wars?
We'll be covering Careless Whisper by WHAM.
Wham it is. Let's do this. All right, so Careless Whisper by Wham. This was sent in as a request on our YouTube comments page from user at Bernard Holt 4887. So that means the same thing can be true for you as well. If you have a request, there is a likely chance that we may cover your pick on the show. So get those requests in. And Careless Whisper, let's get right into it. Careless Whisper is a song by English singer-songwriter George Michael, released as the second single from Wham's second album, Make It Big, from 1984. It was produced by Michael and written by Michael and his Wham bandmate, Andrew Ridgeley. The single was credited to Michael as part of his transition into a solo career, which proved to be quite lucrative. So, Seth, what is your experience with the song Careless Whisper?
So I have a quick story. When I started a new job, this is a while ago, one of my coworkers said, "Have you heard of the sexy sax man?" And I didn't know what he was talking about, so he rectified that quickly by showing me a video of a solo sax player walking around playing this song in random places. I will never hear this song again the same way.
I love those videos. They're so funny. I'm very familiar with them. Yeah, just love it so much. The song was originally written and we'll talk more about sax here in a little bit, but the song was originally written in 1981 and released on July 23rd, 1984. The album version is 6 minutes and 30 seconds long, but the single version is 5 minutes and 4 seconds long. It is a contemporary pop song with R&B and soul influences, but Careless Whisper is known for featuring a prominent saxophone riff composed by Michael and played by Steve Gregory. So, Seth, what are your thoughts on the saxophone? And will the current state of music continue to embrace the sax?
Current state of music. I don't know about that answer, but I will say the saxophone is a lovely instrument in all its formations, especially the alto sax, which is to me the best saxophone. Yeah, I can't imagine a world without it.
No, I'm interested in hearing more about your takes, especially when we dive into our covers. Interested to hear your takes from a musician standpoint, because for me, when you said alto sax, I'm like, I just know sax and tiny sax, so I don't know. But some of the current versions of songs that include saxophone, in just the last 10 to 20 years, we had Daft Punk with Get Lucky, Blurred Lines, Robin Thicke, Happy by Pharrell, Uptown Funk, Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars. And then recently, Say So by Doja Cat, In Your Eyes by The Weeknd, Silk Sonic with Leave the Door Open, and then a lot of indie and alt-rock bands are including the tiny sax in a lot of their songs, like Bleachers with Jack Antonoff, and a lot of other just acts where you're like, wow, they put a saxophone in there, but it sounds so smooth and cool. So I'm just interested in seeing if we get more of that, because, yeah, I mean, the two songs for me that come to mind that are known for saxophone. Number one is Careless Whisper, and number two is Baker Street. And those two are like just Like they're so well known for the
Yeah.
sax. Careless Whisper topped the charts in the US, UK, and other countries, and it is one of the best-selling songs of all time, which is crazy, but it is true. Let's talk about Wham now, shall we? Wham is an English, or were an English pop duo formed in 1981, consisting of George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley, and one of the most successful pop acts during the 1980s, selling more than 30 million certified records worldwide from 1982 to 1986. And they were only a band for 5 years, 1981 to 1986. Seth, are you surprised by how much success they achieved in such a short time?
Not really. Their songs were very catchy. Very was it the earworm kind of
Pop
vibe?
infused. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised at all.
Okay, well, good. It was influenced by funk and soul music, and they were presenting themselves as disaffected youth on Wham's 1983 debut album, Fantastic. They addressed the UK's unemployment problem and teen angst over adulthood. Their second album, Make It Big, made them big in 1984 and was a worldwide smash pop hit. They released one last studio album in 1986 and called it Music from the Edge of Heaven. And then a greatest hits album followed that same year called The Final. Seth, were you aware of their albums and any other songs that you would like to mention?
I mean, I know a few Wham songs, but I'm not familiar with their all their records. I apologize.
No, that's all right. I mean, there was just a handful of them. So in that short a period of time, like Make It Big was their big album with the aforementioned, and the one that we'll mention over and over again, Careless Whisper, and of course, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. And then there was the song called Everything She Wants, of course, too. So George Michael went on to become a pop culture icon and one of the best recording artists of all time. He had 5 solo releases. Meanwhile, Andrew Ridgeley kind of disappeared into relative obscurity. Post Wham, Ridgeley moved to Monaco and tried his hand at Formula 3 motor racing.
Wow.
Didn't have a lot of success in that field, so then he moved back to LA to pursue acting. And this was around the time of like 1990. So George Michael had already established himself as one of the highest selling, most popular worldwide success stories in a solo career. So, Seth, how weird do you think it was for Andrew Ridgeley to move back to LA and see all of George Michael's success?
I would say that would be pretty mind blowing.
I think so too, but from reading more and more about Andrew Ridgeley, he's just such a humble person. To me, it's almost like he wasn't ever jealous or envious of him. He was more just happy for him, and just, he tried his own thing too. He released a solo album called Son of Albert in 1990, but it was met with kind of a critical panning. In fact, it only received half a star by Rolling Stone. And in the years and decades to follow, he just kind of lived more of a private life, but he did a lot of charitable work. And so it's not one of those things like when you mention Wham, you're like, oh yeah, George Michael and that other guy, you know, like Andrew Ridgeley. Not only is he not a household name, were you even familiar with his name?
You had to bring it up for me to remember it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's sad, but at the same time, like I said, I mean, he's so humble and just a kind-hearted spirit. So I enjoy the fact, I mean, just reading about him, just like what a nice guy he was. He did all this charitable work. So very cool. So the music video now for Careless Whisper. Are you familiar with the music video at all?
Slightly. I've seen it a few times. I can vaguely recall some information from it. I'm not.
So we'll get into what the lyrics are about here just briefly, but this music video, first of all, on YouTube has 1.4 billion views. It's seen so many times. But yeah, so it was very slick and stylish. It's very 80s. I just remember there's a lot of ropes. For some reason, I remember him like like as a set piece, there's a lot of ropes. And I do remember a lot of like, okay, there was cars, boats, and airplanes. There's some love scenes, and then there was a caught in the act scene, and and the person in the relationship who was not party to the affair was the one that like ran off onto the airplane and got away, like, and was mad and stuff. And so, so that's kind of what I remember. So the lyrics, though, as we get into these, the lyrics are about a man who confesses his infidelity and ensuing regret, guilt, and sense of loss he feels as he faces the breakup of his relationship. Did you know that that's what the song was about?
I think so. I mean, like, it's not too clever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not too hard to spell out. If
Right.
you
I
listen
mean,
to it a few times, I think you get it. You get what's going on.
yeah, so as we dive into these lyrics, so, broken relationship is definitely at the forefront here, and then you can definitely tell
Yeah.
that something happened here. But at the same time, I do like that he is guilty about it. Like, he
Yeah.
feels bad for this, as he well should. Um, so, but the lyrics are also very poetic and just
Mhm.
incredible too at the same time. So we'll get into those here now. Here are your lyrics for Careless Whisper. I feel so unsure as I take your hand and lead you to the dance floor. As the music dies, something in your eyes calls to mind a silver screen and all its sad goodbyes. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. Though it's easy to pretend, I know you're not a fool. I should have known better than to cheat a friend and waste the chance that I'd been given, so I'm never gonna dance again the way I danced with you. Time can never mend the careless whispers of a good friend. To the heart and mind, ignorance is kind. There's no comfort in the truth. Pain is all you'll find. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. Though it's easy to pretend, I know you're not a fool. I should have known better than to cheat a friend and waste the chance that I'd been given. So I'm never gonna dance again the way I danced with you. Never without your love. And then the bridge comes in. Tonight the music seems so loud. I wish that we could lose this crowd. Maybe it's better this way. We'd hurt each other with the things we want to say. We could have been so good together. We could have lived this dance forever. But now who's gonna dance with me? Please stay. And then the chorus repeats, and then the outro, now that you're gone. Was what I did so wrong that you had to leave me alone? I'd say probably. But what do you think? What do you think there, Seth? Any lyrics that stand out to you as being the best of the
Yes.
song?
Right before I get to this part, I love the lyrics, but I love the lyrics when it says, "I should have known better than to cheat a friend." And what was it? Waste this chance that I've been given, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think those are brilliant lyrics. Um, they, like you said, they're very poetic. They lend themselves well to the saxophone. I
I
mean,
agree. Yeah.
very well. To the point where it's almost like one of the greatest, compliments to a singer I can think of.
It almost makes
Um,
me wonder if because Michael wrote the sax piece too, it makes me wonder if he wrote that music first and then the lyrics over it because it's almost too good, Like, I don't know. It's very interesting.
it's hard to think of it any other way, I guess. You know what I mean?
I agree. I like the symbolism of the lyric "Tonight the music seems so
Oh,
loud,"
yeah.
but it's only because his guilt is piling up and he's like, "Oh, I can't like I can't filter my emotions with the music and the music won't shut up and let me try to get to how I'm feeling. And then I wish that we could lose this crowd. We'd hurt each other with the things we want to say." And he's like so in his head about it. And he should be because he made such a big mistake. So I mean, just a poetic song. One of the best songs ever recorded in music history. What else can you say? And now we got to do this. We got to rank our favorite covers from this playlist. And before we get into it, I do want to mention this is one of those songs that's timeless. It has so many covers. Like there's no way we can mention all of them. So there's going to be covers from this playlist that we don't talk about. So please, if you have some in mind, share them in the comments. Let us know which ones do we miss out on, which ones should have been included. Because yeah, there's just so many of them. But let's get right into it now. Seth, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is Empress Latoya.
All right, Empress Latoya. Very good. Okay, so Empress Latoya, this is a reggae version of the song. This is from a compilation called The Best of the Reggae Lounge 80s Edition. Empress Latoya has 54,000 monthly listeners out of only 4 songs posted on Spotify currently. Reggae artists don't know a whole lot more about Empress Latoya, but what did you like so much about her version that you put it at number 5?
It's just a great music with so many influences. And I wrote down beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it was a cool version and very crisp. A lot of things like with reggae, for me, sometimes it can be repetitive to the point where I lose consciousness a little bit with it. I'm kind of like losing interest in it, and I just can't. I'm like, all right, next song. This version, though, for me, I was captivated by it. Like her voice took me through the whole song, and I was pleasantly surprised at how much I liked it as well. So very good.
I will say
So
with the
go ahead.
musical influences, it sounds reggae, but if you listen hard enough, and maybe it's because of my headphones, I don't know. I heard a lot of different stuff in there.
Okay, good.
And so
Like what?
I think it's worth mentioning to be at number 5. I really do.
Okay, so any other genres you were picking up on other than reggae?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there. There's just so many instruments, and the you could tell that the different musicians pulled from different kinds of fields. I'd have to listen to it again because this list is a very good list, and I can't think of all the different like genres that they pull from, but they definitely has a lot of different sounds from different genres for sure.
I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, this is one I wish I had any more information about the
Yeah.
song, the version, and her. But yeah, I didn't find any more. But it is a really cool song, and for her to only have 4 songs out there and to have 54,000 monthly listeners, you know they're listening to this version over and over again. It's on a ton of playlists, I'm sure. So very
Yeah.
cool. Empress Latoya at your number 5. All right, Seth, you ready for my number 5?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so my number 5 is from Dave Koz and Montel Jordan. Not Michael Jordan, but Montel Jordan. And this is from the Dave Koz album, The Dance, released back on January of 1999. Montel Jordan currently sitting at 3.5 million monthly listeners, an R&B singer-songwriter and producer, best known, of course, for his mega hit, This Is How We Do It. The guest vocalist here on the track, Careless Whisper, the cover from that Dave Koz album. Dave Koz, certainly 730,000 monthly listeners, a legendary saxophonist, 12 number 1 albums. He's a composer, producer, and a well-known radio personality in LA. I just thought this version, it's smooth and effortless. The saxophone is superb, like the best I think I've ever heard. It's just, and then Montel Jordan's background vocals on this are great. They're just buttery and add a perfect layer to the instrumentation too. I just thought he did a phenomenal job with it, and he's not drowned out either. So some of these versions, I thought the vocalists were a little drowned out by the instrumentation. This version is layered perfectly and mixed very well too. And so, what did you think about that version?
I wrote down that I was a fan of both. And their musicality and the vocals mixed really well. So basically what you were saying, I can't like believe how beautiful it sounded. Like it was just one of those easy listening. You could be in any kind of mood and you'd be like, whoa, that is something special right there.
Right. And he makes it sound like anyone can just pick up a saxophone and be like, oh, that's certainly easy to play. Let me try this. Brr, brr, brr. Yeah. No, it's not easy. In fact, it's very, very difficult. But how does he make it sound so good? I don't know. All right, Seth, what is your number 4?
So my number 4 is Tamia.
All right, Tamia. Let's talk about Tamia. Tamia, this is from her debut album, self-titled, from November of 1997. Tamia currently 4.6 million monthly listeners. Her real name is Tamia Marilyn Washington Hill, as she is married to Grant Hill, and they've been a couple since 1999. That's Grant Hill, the famous basketball player. They have 2 kids together. She is an R&B singer-songwriter with 8 albums. So, Seth, why did you like this version so much? So you put it at number 4.
I wrote down gorgeous, stunning, and overall, and I also wrote relaxing and easy vocals.
Very cool. Yeah, I actually used to own Tamia's maybe her first 3 albums, including this one, and I listened to it all the time. Just beautiful, beautiful voice.
It
Love
should be
Tamia.
noted, I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe somebody will comment, that Quincy Jones found her, and he is a jazz musician. So
I think you're right about that. I think you are, because I remember seeing a lot of Quincy Jones. I didn't put it in the bio because I didn't have enough room on my page, but yeah, I remember seeing that all over the bio. So
okay,
yeah, I mean that would make sense too.
Yeah.
So very good. Okay, Seth, are you ready for my number 4?
oh yeah,
My number 4 is a legendary R&B artist and disco queen herself. Gloria Gaynor is my number 4. This comes off of and this version is different, but there's like 3 or 4 versions of the song she does. The one that we chose for the playlist comes from an album self-titled, released in July of 2011. And she currently has still 7 million monthly listeners on Spotify. The trumpet is featured on this in place of the saxophone. The trumpet player here was Kiku Collins. And of course, she's a legendary disco, R&B, and soul artist. The trump over the sax is an interesting choice, but it just works perfectly. Her deep, soulful voice is so excellent in this song. She's so strong here. And the track just feels like a raw and edgy version that just gets better and better throughout. I don't know what it is. Usually, I'll take the crisp, sparkle, veneer, shine of a well-produced and well-mixed version any day. But there's something about a raw sounding style too, where it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that just do it for me. And for some reason, with her voice on this track, it just sounds so good. I just fell in love with this version. So Gloria Gaynor at number 4. What do you think of Gloria Gaynor's version?
So I wrote down, love the Spanish guitar right at the intro, and the voice just cuts through. Her voice is just so special.
It really is. And it's kind of hard to put into words because it's different than other voices you hear out there, but it's not like it's not slick and stylish and smooth. It's more of a deeper, raspy, kind of a soulful kind of a voice too. So it's just very cool. I love it. So Seth, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is no surprise to the show. It's Cullum J. Wright.
All right.
Callum.
I had a feeling he would sneak in there for you anyway. So Callum J. Wright. This is from Acoustic Covers Volume 1, released on February of 2023. 354,000 monthly listeners, and he is, of course, a singer-songwriter from Cheshire, UK. Yes, appeared numerous times already on the show. Here he is again. So, Seth, why did you have him at number 3?
I simply just love this version. His vocals were really shining, and I loved the finger snapping.
Yeah, I did pick up on that a lot. That I did like that too. Because some of his songs, they need something. They need an instrument. I mean, he's by himself. He has an acoustic guitar. So there's got to be like something. And yeah, finger snapping, that's something you can do in a song. But his voice is so smooth. I mean, that's a great little compliment to it. So very good. So Callum J. Wright is your number 3. So Seth, are you ready for my number 3?
I am so ready for your number 3. I've got to know.
Well, we have our first match because my number 3 is also Tamia. So Tamia, this version is so good. Again, I mentioned I had like her albums, when I had CDs and CDs were a thing. It's beautifully soulful. It's silky smooth vocals, different stylings, and the layering, the production quality on this track is so good. I mean, because obviously it's just her with more of her coming in. I mean, but if you listen to the song, the way they mix it, it's so good. And yeah, I just thought that the sax throughout is just really cool and it vibes nicely. You hear it right away It like just goes right into it. You don't have to wait for it. And then it's throughout the whole song. So sometimes it can be much on certain tracks, like when you're hearing an instrument the whole way through, it can be a little bit much. But this song lends itself so well to sax. It works throughout the whole vocals. And then, I just love the way she sings it. It's just so good. And yeah, that's Tamia at 3 for Mia. And so, Seth, I got to know, what is your number 2?
So if you know me personally, you would know this actually might be my number 1, but it's my number 2 this time. Brian McKnight.
Ooh, okay. Brian McKnight. So, very, very well-known artist. So let's get into this. Brian McKnight, this is from the album Just Me, released on July 2011. Brian McKnight, currently 3.2 million monthly listeners. Back at one of the best and most well-known R&B songs of the modern era. Singer, songwriter, producer, multi-instrumentalist, highly regarded artist. So many instruments. He plays the tuba. He plays a lot of, like brass instruments. Like he can play all kinds of stuff. Why did you have Brian McKnight's version at number 2?
So I said, more please, more please. Yes, yes, yes. Love Brian. Perfect.
Well, that about sums that up. All I can say is I really love Brian McKnight, and I love his voice, and I love what he can do. Personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of this version of the song, just because there was something about him singing off the beat. And I mean, it also speaks to just like what a great artist he is, because he wanted to do his own thing with it. And that's part of what cover songs are about. Make it different. So it doesn't sound exactly like the original. And he did that. But the singing off the beat kind of got to me after a while. It just wasn't for me, but I highly respect it, and I can totally understand and see why it's so high up on your list. So Brian McKnight, very interesting though. As we move on here, that is your number 2. All right, Seth, are you ready for my number 2?
I'm ready for your number 2.
All right, so here we go. My number 2 song. My number 2 version of Careless Whisper by Wham, or George Michael, whatever you prefer, is a band called State of Mind. This was from a single released on June of 2023. State of Mind has 1 million monthly listeners. They are from Lanesburg, Michigan. They're a heavy metal band with a tough, no-nonsense style and a talent for executing perfect metal versions of songs. And I just gotta say, this version is incredible. It is a heavy, kick in the teeth version with great guitar playing and vocals that combine to annihilate another version that sounds very similar to this version on this playlist, and that's by Seether, which we'll get into later. But I was only familiar with the Seether version when we're talking about heavier versions of this song, just because it was on the radio so much. I had never heard this version of the song until this playlist, and I can't believe how much I liked it more than the Seether version that I heard so often. And the more and more I heard this, the more I liked it. I just love it so much. Seth, what do you think of State of Mind's version of the song?
I love this take. It's one that I started the song and I stopped what I was doing and I started it back up and I was like, this has to be mentioned. This is a really good song. This has got to be somewhere. So I'm glad that you've got it on your list.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't make my 5 without including them. And then, of course, just like it happens so often when we do these, just kept moving up because I'm like, there is nothing that I don't like about it. It gets even more heavy at the end. It gets aggressive toward the end. And then it kind of ends that way. And I'm like, but I like that, because there's an escalation. It'd be weird if it started heavy and then it got too quiet. So I compare it to the Seether version because we hear the Seether version the most, and we'll get into that again later. But oh my goodness. So, Seth, before we dig deep into some honorable mentions, let's run through our 5 through 2. So, Seth, for number 5, you've got Empress Latoya. At number 4, you've got Tamia. At number 3, Callum J. Wright. And number 2, Brian McKnight. At number 5, I've got Dave Koz and Michael Jordan. I said Michael Jordan again. At number 5, I've got Dave Koz and Montel Jordan. At number 4, I've got Gloria Gaynor. At 3, I've got Tamia. And at 2, I've got State of Mind. Okay, let's go into these honorable mentions now. Seth, what do you got for me at number 10?
At number 10, I've got State of Mind.
Hey, what do you know? Okay, anything else to say about State of Mind?
I had written down very cool. It's just a really catchy version. I really liked it.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, of course. So, what about number 9?
I got Natalie Dawn.
Mm,
I
okay.
really did like that version. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Natalie Dawn, also one half of Pomplamoose.
Yeah.
So this was her solo version of the song from a single it's a single released in January 2017. She's an indie pop person, one half of Pomplamoose, 69,000 monthly listeners. I like that version as well. So what about number 8?
At 8, I've got Ben's Fold. And honestly, it should say Ben Folds with Rufus Wainwright, but it does not say that. So I'm a
Yeah.
little angry about that.
Okay, well, I can tell you maybe why it doesn't include him on there. This is a huge compilation, a huge retrospective here. So Ben Folds and Rufus Wainwright. This is the version is live at Mountain Winery in Saratoga, California, from The Best Imitation of Myself. It's a 66 song, 4-hour retrospective released on October of 2010. So, whichever studio put this out, maybe they didn't feel like it was important to mention that or wanted it to be a surprise. I don't know. But we're talking about Ben Folds here, 550,000 monthly listeners, a prolific pop rock vocalist and pianist. And of course, Rufus Wainwright, 1.5 million monthly listeners, internationally successful theatrical pop vocalist and son of Loudon Wainwright, of course. And then, I like this version too. I would have preferred a studio version because the quality wasn't where I wanted it to be. Certain live versions I like, but yeah, this one I wanted to hear a studio version. But anyway, that's just me. So, what about 7?
At 7, I've got Scary Pockets.
Okay. So, Scary Pockets, we mentioned Natalie Dawn of Pomplamoose. Well, guess what? Scary Pockets, Jack Conte, also of Pomplamoose. So we've got them both represented here. This version also featured Elise Tro and Dave Koz again for a second appearance on the playlist. Yeah, I mean, what's funny is so Jack Conte, I found out that he was also a co-founder of Patreon. That's crazy. So he's got some money. Uh,
Whoa.
yeah, right. So him
Got
and
some of my
Ryan
money.
Lerman, right? Him and Ryan Lerman, both huge connections in the music industry. Elise Tro here, 47.5 thousand monthly listeners. She's a multi instrumentalist and singer songwriter and blends pop rock, jazz, alternative. Has a new album coming out next February, and of course, we already talked about Dave Koz, legendary saxophonist. So, that's your number 7. And what about 6?
6, I've got The Lost Fingers.
Okay, Lost Fingers here. And Lost Fingers, this is from an album called Lost in the 80s. This was released in January of 2009. They've got almost 53,000 monthly listeners. They're an acoustic quartet out of Quebec. They have this gypsy, jazzy bluegrass and 80s pop fuzz. They reminded me a lot of Squirrel Nut Zippers. That's the band that I thought when I heard about it. What do you think of that?
So this song, is actually by way of Django Reinhardt. So it's that gypsy swing
Okay.
guitar. And the beginning is Spanish guitar. So it's a whole different vibe. When you hear the beginning, you're like, oh, okay. So we're talking like this. And then, like, I don't know what, 15 seconds later, it's straight jazz guitar, like straight up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I loved it, whatever it was. It was very cool. So, yeah, I'll get into my honorable mentions. At number 10, I've got Matt Glocky. This is not one of my favorite styles he does, but it is the style is the style of CKY, which is an alt metal stone rock post grunge band, stoner rock post grunge band. I can't even say it. Um, this Matt Glocky, of course, super talented multi instrumentalist, vocalist, impressionist, producer. Releases covers in different musical styles. He's all over our playlists. And this is the version in CKY. And it's not my favorite style, but it's Glocky. And he's just so good at what he does. It still comes out with me liking it enough to put it at 10. Number 9, I've got Richard Cheese from the album A Lounge Supreme, released way back in August of 2011. Richard Cheese right now at 354.5 thousand monthly listeners. Comedic lounge style covers of popular songs from every genre and every era. This version, he sings it so well. It's like it shows you that he can actually sing, and it's not just about the comedy, but about his voice as well. I just thought he did so well in this. I've also got Natalie Dawn here at number 8 in my honorables. Just a beautiful version of the song. She really shines on this. And it's just a very cool instrumentation at about the halfway point. I just thought it was too short. So that was kind of my thing again with Callum J. Wright. It's just too short. I wanted some more. At 7, I've got Seether. This is from the album Finding Beauty in Negative Spaces from 2007. This song currently has 171 million streams on Spotify. And it's just amazing to me. Seether has 8 million monthly listeners. They are a major rock festival staple and modern rock radio hitmaker of a band. They're a very successful South African new metal rock band. Most well-known cover by far of this version or of this song is "Careless Whisper" by Seether. I've heard the song so much though; it's very overplayed when it comes to rock covers, but it's still very good. It's more of like a deeper sound to it too. So I didn't like it nearly as much though as State of Mind. State of Mind to me blew this out of the water, and I was not expecting it. I was also not expecting to have Seether so high up, but they ended up slipping back to 7. And at number 6, a surprising one, I've got Julio Iglesias from the album Romantic Classics released in June of 2006. Julio Iglesias, 5.4 million monthly listeners, a legendary Latin international superstar who sold over 300 million albums with a career spanning 6 decades. I was just so impressed with the production of this version. I mean, he's like maybe 60 years old here at this. The sax kicks it off. He sings with an exceptional emotional quality, and then it just unexpectedly, there's group vocals that kick in at about the 3-minute mark. And that just like put it over the top for me. It almost hit my top 5. And it's Julio Iglesias, who's an artist I had never like gelled with. So I was very shocked that, that I had this as high as I did. But anyway, a lot of different versions of the song discussed. We've only matched one. We've had a lot of different honorable mentions. So we're only possibly going to have 2 matches, but maybe just the one. I'm so excited to know, though, Seth, what is your number 1?
My number 1 is Dave Koz featuring Montel Jordan.
Okay, another match. Here we go. All right, so, Seth, why is Dave Koz featuring Montel Jordan your number 1?
To repeat myself, it's the instrumentation mixed with the great vocals. So a lot of people don't know Montel Jordan actually sings. So a lot of people think he's just a hip hop star from the late 90s or mid 90s. He is actually a singer as well. I probably brought it up on the podcast before. He was in the movie, the doc, Standing in the Shadows of Motown, and he sang Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
The cover's purple. I can see the purple.
Yeah,
but yeah.
And he knocked it out of the park. Ain't No Mountain High Enough, and he can sing. He's got pipes. But Dave Koz, my goodness, that man can play. In my opinion, this is better than the original.
Wow, that is certainly saying something there. Now, is this the alto sax that you're referring to?
No,
it's not.
There's a. I forgot to make note of it. I was going to make note. I was in the car and I was like, "That's an alto sax." And there's also the trumpet. I think featured on 2 songs, which the Gloria Gaynor and some other song. But right. I was like, I hear the different instruments playing the leads, and Seether had an amazing guitar solo. Which I didn't bring up, but that didn't make my list either, so I apologize. But yeah.
Oh no, that's okay, because my number 1's not going to make your list either. But but alas, so at least we have a second match, so I'm happy about that. But no, I mean, I got Dave Koz and Montel Jordan at my number 5. I appreciated this version very, very much, and was blown away by the saxophone. I mean, just so effortless. It's unbelievable how. I mean, this was when he was in his prime, like, in 1999, this album came out. And I remember hearing this. I worked at Sam Goody at the time. And I remember hearing this in store and just playing it. So, very cool. All right, Seth, are you ready for my number 1?
I am super ready.
Well, for the second week in a row, didn't even make your honorable mentions, but I'm excited to tell you that my number one is Eagles of Death Metal. This version comes to you from EODM Presents Boots Electric performing the best songs we never wrote. Yes, it's a covers album. Released on June of 2019. They have 894,000 monthly listeners. The original side project of Jesse Hughes and Josh Homme, which became a full-fledged band. The drums, the drums, the drums, the drums, the drums. That's what I have written down. The beat throughout never tired and never loses my attention. As repetitive as it is, it captivates me. There's great vocal effects here too. The aggressive stylization. I could listen to this over and over and over again, and I kind of did. And I will still some more. The pedal effects on the guitars replacing the sax. It's just so good. I love this. This might be my favorite Eagles of Death Metal song. So Seth, you didn't have it in your top 10. What did you think of this version?
Oh, I loved it. It didn't make the list. I apologize for that, but it is a great, great version. I'm really sad that I don't have it in my list now.
I'm even sadder because it's my number one. So we have a little bit of work cut out for us now, don't we? So I gotta say, Dave Koz and Montel Jordan, you have it at 1. I've got it at 5. So I'm thinking that's got to be number 1. Okay, because 1 and 5 are 6. And then number 2 is super easy as well because we both have Tamiya. I've got Tamiya at 3. You've got Tamiya at 4. That's got to be number 2. But what are you thinking about number 3?
Okay, so I don't have Gloria Gaynor. I have State of Mind in my honorable mentions.
Okay, we'll stop right there. You have State of Mind in your honorable mentions. That is the only other artist that is in my 5 that is in your honorable mentions then, I believe. So what number were they at in your honorables?
It was 10. Do you have Callum J. Wright in your honorable mentions?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound like I was laughing. I'm like choking on my drink here.
You're fine.
No, my number, I've got him at like 12, I think. Let me look. No, I've got him at 11.
Okay.
I've got him at 11, so you have him at 3.
It's a State of Mind.
State of Mind is at my number 2, and you have him at 10, so yeah, it's got to be State of Mind.
I'm happy with that because I do believe it is the best rock version on this playlist.
And I can't believe how much better it is than Seether. And no, it seems to me like nobody's heard this version. I mean, it came out afterwards, so it's like Seether was first in the rock heavy version, but it's heavier than the Seether version, and it's just so crisper and cleaner. The vocals are better, and I love it. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and stamp this. Here's your official top 3 quintessential versions of Careless Whisper by George Michael and Wham. At number 3, State of Mind. At number 2, Tamiya. And the number 1 best cover ever of Careless Whisper is Dave Koz featuring Montel Jordan. All right, so how do you think we did on that?
Given what we had, and our musical tastes are very different, I'm very lended towards the jazz for sure. And you're more lended towards the rock pop versions. I think it was nice that we could meet up. And I think we did really well.
I agree.
On that's a hard song because
yeah, and I'm totally fine with the Dave Koz being out. I mean, he blew me away. Like that version, like it's just so good. Like I can't deny it. So yeah, I'm glad with him being at number 1. And then Tamiya, yeah, I'm loving that Tamiya made it to number 2 for us. So very cool. Seth, before we get into where people can find us, I am so excited to know what song will we be covering next week on Cover Wars. Please tell me. Because I don't know yet.
My good friend, I've been holding back for weeks and weeks and weeks, waiting for the proper time to say Sweet Home Chicago.
Oh, wow. Sweet Home Chicago? Are you kidding me? That's awesome. I'm originally from the Chicago area, you know. All right. So many things are like crossing my mind right now. I don't want to give anything away, but I'm just like, the first time, okay, first when you said Sweet Home, you know what I was thinking? I didn't think you were going to say Chicago. I thought you were going to say a state, not a city. I'm like, maybe that'll be good. And I still think that's going to come on, way down the pike. We'll probably pick up on that. But yes, Sweet Home Chicago. Oh my goodness. I am so excited to find 20 covers for a playlist to give to you. And oh, wow. So that is awesome. And Seth, where can the people find us if they want more Cover Wars?
Yes. You can find us on @Cover Wars Podcast on YouTube and Cover Wars Podcast on Facebook. coverwarspodcast@gmail.com and Cover Wars on TikTok.
All very true. And hey, if you're ever out there and you're all alone and you don't know where to go for cover songs recorded by artists other than the original, Seth and I, we've got you covered. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.